It's official. Blaze Radio has once again been voted as the top streaming radio station in the country by Intercollegiate Broadcasting System. Blaze Radio continues to be the standard when it comes to college student radio and is honored to once again receive this incredible award. We could not do what we do without you, so we thank you for listening to Blaze Radio, blazeradioonline.com.
The sun has set on another week here in the Valley of the Sun. It's a Friday night at Phoenix Municipal Stadium as Arizona State continues their homestand here at Muni this week in a pivotal Big 12 series against the Baylor Bears. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Phoenix Municipal Stadium on a windy but gorgeous night once again here in Phoenix. He's Luke Lendler. I'm Lochlan McTeague. We're the broadcasters tonight, taking you along here on Blaze YouTube. And Luke, a pivotal series for both of these teams. You look at the metrics, the Bears right now actually ahead of the Sun Devils in the rankings, but I mean, the record shows for Arizona State that they've been the better team so far this year, and it's kind of a tale of two teams. One team likes to hit the long ball. The other team has a talented pitching staff.
Oh, yeah, and we're going to see it a lot tonight. We're going to see it on full display all weekend, but particularly with tonight's starter, Lucas Davenport. He's been a real weapon. Decisions in his last 4 starts. Baylor is 7-1 when he starts. Even if he doesn't get a decision, he still is clearly conducive to winning to a Bears team that, like you mentioned, has some positives in all these advanced metrics, but the biggest one, the most important one, RPI, actually favors Arizona State. But this weekend could be pivotal for that because you're looking at an NCAA tournament projection that currently has Arizona State as a 2 seed, but as one of the last 2 seeds in the bracket. You know, before that line, he dropped down to the 3 seed. Baylor's just clinging there on that 3 seed line, just the very top. This could be a seesaw series this weekend for an ASU team that really does not want to go back to a regional as a 3 seed. They went last year, didn't go particularly very well, so they're probably hoping to get a little bit more in favor of themselves heading into the postseason this year.
And we're at that point in the regular season where it's starting to wind down to the Big 12. Arizona State getting down to their last 4 series or so before the Big 12 tournaments in a few weeks here in surprise Arizona. But before we get there, we got to talk about Arizona State. And the story of their season so far has been their leadoff hitter, left fielder Landon Hairston.
Yeah, and he's been a real asset, you could say, and more than just the fact that he can bash home runs over the wall like nobody has in decades in the maroon and gold. He was intentionally walked 3 times. They're really leaning – so the team likes to call him Harry Bonds, like Barry Bonds. They really lean into that bit, other teams are, when they intentionally walk him as much as they do. But 3 IBBs in the same game has happened a single-digit number of times in Arizona State's history. And this is a proud history. We can look out there and see all the retired numbers or those honored numbers out there on the wall. Harrison being as good of a home run hitter has just put him on base consistently through – just admission by the defense, just giving him that free pass. But of course, we can talk about the long ball. This is a stadium that supports it. But he could probably throw him into Marlins Park, push the walls back 10 more feet, and he's still hitting 20+ home runs this season. He gets all of it. He's not the biggest guy. He's not the strongest guy, but he's got one of the purest swings I've seen, in many, many years watching baseball. And he clearly knows how to read pitches, read at-bats. And the fact that he leads off is just so much more dangerous for this lineup.
And it's not just Hairston in this lineup. Obviously, he's the guy that you circle on your lineup card each and every night, and why not, leading the NCAA in home runs, average, OPS, slugging percentage. I mean, his numbers are eye-popping, to say the least. But the rest of the lineup, they got a lot of pop, a lot of power. But on the other side for Baylor, they've got a pitching staff that could potentially slow down this lineup here this weekend.
Oh, yeah. 3rd best staff ERA in the Big 12, and that's what's really carried them to victory. They're coming off a tough series loss to their rivals, TCU, but they picked up a key win in that series. They did not get swept. They picked up a key win because of impressive pitching performances, particularly from Davenport, who I assume, the Baylor coaching staff is hoping will go at least 4 or 5 innings tonight at the absolute bare minimum, even though once he gets out of the game, you turn it over to a guy named Caleb Bunch, one of the best relievers in the country, has been a weapon for the coaching staff throughout the season. He came in, big spot against an SEC team in Ole Miss early in the season. Baylor looking for a prove-it win. He goes 3 shutty, closes out the Rebels, and gives Baylor a huge win that it then parlayed into extreme momentum as the season's gone on.
It'll be an intriguing pitching matchup tonight as both teams' aces are on the bump on a Friday night. Cole Carlone for the Sun Devils, Lucas Davenport for Baylor. We'll take a quick break here at Muni. Teams take the field momentarily. We'll take a short break. Lineups and first pitch next here on Blaze.
Do you want to stay updated on the world of soccer, or hear Arsenal fans tell you why we're winning the league? Then you need to tune in to Park the Bus on Blaze Radio. Go to blazeradioonline.com at 10:30 every Tuesday morning to hear Alex Swift and Bob Blue, alongside the occasional guest host, talk everything soccer.
Do you want news about the Big 12? Do you want analysis on every football game? Do you want coverage on sports like lacrosse and beach volleyball? Well, guess what? You're in for a treat. Introducing Big 12 at 12 with your host, me, Dimitri Kurlik. It's the show for Big 12 sports and Big 12 sports only. Make sure to tune in every Wednesday for analysis and breakdown of every Big 12 game from 12 p.m. to 12:30. Only on Blaze Radio.
If you're a tennis fan and want to take a little break from your day, I'm serving up a show for you. This is your host, Pratham Valluri, bringing you Match Point, your weekly tennis content. I'll cover ongoing tournaments, go over the latest news, analyze players and matches, and replay the previous week's biggest moments. Be sure to tune into Match Point every Wednesday from 3 to 3:30 p.m. on Blaze Radio.
4. Is that what your golf game sounds like? Well, mine too. But hey, if you play, that means you love golf. And if you want to love golf Tuesdays from 12:30 to 1 p.m. Arizona time, then you can join me, Brennan Bucher, on Blaze Radio Online for all things scores, equipment, leaderboards, and event coverage. It's everything from the Corn Ferry to Live to the PGA Tour. If it's golf, it's on the 16th hole on Blaze Radio Online.
Welcome back to Phoenix Municipal Stadium. He's Luke Lendler. I'm Lochlan McTeague. Moments away from first pitch between the Baylor Bears and Arizona State Sun Devils. We mentioned Cole Carlone taking the hill for Arizona State. The batting lineup, he'll face on the other side for Baylor. Travis Sanders, the shortstop, leads off. Brady Janusik plays right field, batting second. Tice Armstrong, the slugger first baseman, will bat in the 3-hole. Brighton Clements is the third baseman, batting cleanup. Pearson Reebok is playing second base, batting fifth. J.J. Kennett is behind home plate tonight for Baylor, batting sixth. 7-8-9 is Ty Johnson, Dylan Perez, the DH, and Bo Caraway, the center fielder. Any eye poppers for you, Luke, in the Baylor lineup?
Well, it's hard to not just give all the glory and praise to this top three. I mean, this is a three guys that have really put the team in their backpack for much of the season. But I'm looking at a guy, I'm looking right here at Brady Janusik. And for a freshman to come in and have the impact that he's had, it's been incredible. He's on a 6-game hitting streak. He's having one of the best seasons in the Big 12 of any hitter, and he's having probably the best season of any freshman in the Big 12 for how well he's hit the ball. You know, he started and played 40 games this season. The coach clearly trusts him like he's an upperclassman. 9 bombs already, trying to get into double digits this weekend. But he's really somebody you can't pitch around. You want your first 3-4 guys. Nobody you can pitch around because he's got guys behind him and in front of him that are just as dangerous as him. You have to challenge him, attack him. But nobody's going to challenge and attack better than Cole Carlone. He used to be a reliever, so he knows what it's like to kind of have that reliever headspace. Say, look, I'm going to throw harder than anybody here. I'm going to throw better than anybody here, and I'm in here to get out the best 3 guys in your lineup. That's basically how he has to start every game, and particularly against this Baylor team that's so top-heavy in their lineup.
So again, we mentioned the left-hander, the junior Cole Carlone, wearing number 14 in white on the bump for Arizona State. The numbers speak for themselves, and we'll get into that as we go. Defensive lineup behind Carlone, though. His battery mate tonight is Brody Briggs behind home plate. Austin Rolig is at third. PJ Moutsouridis is at shortstop once again. Beckett Zavorik at second. And Dom Smaldino at first base. Outfield looks pretty similar to most nights here at Muni. Landon Harrison in the left. Dominic Longo in center. And Dean Toigo in right field. And again, on the bump is Cole Carlone, the hard-throwing lefty who against BYU in his last start hit 101 for the first time in his career.
I mean, maybe it was the altitude, maybe it wasn't, I have no idea. But regardless, he was slinging it up there in Provo. And I'm really intrigued to see what this defense behind him is going to look like. Beckett Savorak was thought of as a basically defensive-minded guy, good defender, good runner for a lot of his freshman season here, but he's struggled with errors in the field so far this season. But how can he respond? He's getting the nod here at second base. He hadn't played a lot of second base in the last couple weeks, but with New Contradas nursing a hamstring injury, he's been moved to DH. They're putting Zavorak back at second. They're trying to see what they have out of him. Zavorak and Mutsuritis have been very volatile as middle infield defenders. This game, particularly when you have a pitcher like Carlone on the mound who is going to elicit a lot of sharp grounders, is going to come down to how those two can handle what's coming at them.
We are just about set to go here. Carlone ready as Travis Sanders, the Baylor shortstop, digs in to the right-handed batter's box. Signal from the home plate umpire. We're ready to play ball in Phoenix. Carlone kicks and deals the first offering of the day. Swing and a miss. Strike number one. Sun Devils in their white script uniforms, maroon hats with gold lettering. Baylor, gray pants, green jerseys, gold lettering. Say Baylor across the front. Carlone ready with the 0-1. That's slapped foul out of play down the right field line. That's a hot shot over near the Coors Light Devil deck. See a lot of baseballs going over that way today.
Oh, yeah. Carlone likes his heat, but he likes his high heat particularly, which is a good matchup against a Baylor lineup that has struggled for power this season. That's usually in the home run zone. He can blow it by these guys.
Sanders hitting .353 as he takes a high heater there for ball 199 on the gun. How do you do, Cole Carlone? Maybe try to cook that one a little bit too much up in the zone. Still in a friendly count. Here's the 1-2 from the lefty. Outside corner, not called that time, just missed, says home plate umpire Travis Eggert. Count even at 2 apiece to the leadoff man, Travis Sanders. 2-2 from Carlone. Slider ripped into shallow left that finds the outfield grass. Sanders hustling around first. He's got to stop about halfway. Throw is relayed into the infield. And Baylor has a leadoff base runner.
Just rolled it off the hands. I mean, you're not going to get an unluckier first swing of the bat, really, that makes decent contact for Cole Carlone. I mean, that thing just blooped up and over the head of Austin Rolig at third. But it doesn't mean he can't lock back in and challenge the next dude. We saw that heater. We saw, those high fastballs. Tries to counter it with the slider. It wasn't as effective as he might have wanted, but he's got another opportunity here.
Man on first. Still nobody away as they do a courtesy check. Carlone does over to first. Nothing doing. So here's the right fielder, Brady Janusek. He's having a terrific season as a freshman in the Big 12. Carlone deals the first pitch high for ball number 1. For Janusek, he leads the Big 12 in home runs and is tied for the conference lead in stolen bases among freshmen. He's got 16 stolen bases. It's the 1-0 from Carlone. Big swing and a miss at 97 on the heater.
And when he shows the off speed, even in the last at-bat, Janusek's here watching. He's thinking, all right, these might want to go to this more. But Carlone reverses course. Heater.
Carlone checks back at first, throws over to Smaldino. Still nothing really doing there as Sanders trying to be a bit of a pest over there at first. Smaldino pumped the throw back to his pitcher. He had to get back to the bag, did Sanders, and as soon as Smaldino threw that back to Carlone, he shuffled quickly and took his lead. Sanders going on the pitch, swing and a miss, throw. His Baylor's MO is aggressiveness on the base paths. Carlone ready with the 1-2, and he checks back to second. Courtesy throw to Zavorak. Nothing doing for Sanders.
He's getting antsed up a little bit by Sanders back there. I think you can. This is early for a pitcher to look a little bit unsettled, but he certainly doesn't seem to be in complete rhythm and control right now.
That's what Mitch Thompson and the Bears are certainly hoping for as Carlone throws back to second again.
And the dugout's letting him hear it. It's funny. I mean, a beautiful night and a pretty good crowd, including a well-stocked student section, but it's still quiet enough here in the early innings that we can hear the chirps coming from the Bears dugout.
Certainly a lot of energy for both these teams in the first inning here. 1-2 on the way from Carlone. Still nobody out. Sanders on second. The pitch waved at and missed. There's strikeout number 1 of the evening for Cole Carlone. 1 away here in the top of the first.
Got him there with the off speed. When you throw as hard as he does with that high heater, it makes the off speed even more tantalizing because guys want to get at it, but they get out in front of it.
Carlone coming into this game, 12.64 K per 9 ratio. That's 11th among active Division I players. As he starts his at-bat with a swing and a miss to Tice Armstrong, the right-handed hitting first baseman. Might have heard Armstrong's name quite a bit in mid-February. On opening night, he launched not 1, not 2, but 3 grand slams against New Mexico State. It was unbelievable. Armstrong takes a slider on the outside corner. He watches that one go for a ball.
Only been done one other time in NCAA history. I can just only imagine witnessing the second one go in the air and think, wow, this is incredible, only for him to then hit a third one.
Carlone checks back to second before dealing the 1-1. Sanders playing games right now as Zavorik double pumped before throwing that ball back. Immediately after that ball gets thrown back to Carlone, every single time he takes a little shuffle step away from the bag. Here's the 1-1 from Carlone. Chop back foul off the netting behind the backstop. Another 2-strike count being worked here by the lefty on the hill for Arizona State. 1-2, Sanders on second, 1 away here in the top of the first. To Tice Armstrong, who's hitting .305 this year. 2-strike count popped up weakly on the infield. Smaldino calls it on the grass, and he's camped under it and makes the play, 2 down. An effortless out there for Cole Carlone. Strands Sanders, at least for the time being, 180 feet from home. 2 down here for the Bears. And it's Brighton Clement, the third baseman, up for Baylor.
One of the big assessments of Carlone's viability as a starter is how can he experience troubles early in a frame and then he get out of it. When you're in the bullpen, you're in command, in control the entire time. But he's got to prolong this effort to the next inning. For him to get out of this after that bloop single could be important.
Carlone deals a slider on the outside corner. That's called a strike. 0-1 the count. 2 down to Brighton Clement. Or Clements, excuse me. Must have missed the S on my scorecard. Sanders shuffling her way at second base, trying to draw another throw back. Spins and fires. It throws into the outfield. So that ball goes into center field, and Sanders takes a free 90 feet. Zavorik was crashing towards the bag, but had to reach around Sanders to try and get that baseball, and he couldn't do it.
It's mistakes like that, like I mentioned, middle infield. These guys have not repped together a ton this season. And that's what's going to come out of instances like this. Now suddenly big pressure on Carlone here. He's got his back to the runner. Sanders could take a big lead.
Sanders! Cole Carlone strutting to the dugout. After picking off Sanders, that'll end the inning. One of the stranger ends to the top of the first you'll ever see, but a 0 put up on the board by the lefty, and the Sun Devils will come to the plate. It'll be Hairston, Contreras, and Toigo due up top of the order. We'll meet the Sun Devil batting lineup when we come back next on Blaze.
Have you ever wondered why your team can just never draft a quarterback?
There's the big gaffe that has plagued Zach Wilson.
Are you a sicko who wants to know how your season can come to a grinding halt?
He breaks through!
Or maybe it just feels like your team will never make the offseason moves to become a real contender.
And May got there!
If this applies to you, then tune in to Roll the Tape.
Every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. on Blaze Radio with Will Anderson, Avery Getchie, and Jack Kemler.
Because it just feels better to know what you're watching the next time your team is losing.
Blaze Radio staple shows are back. Tune into Open Mic, Traffic Jam, Press Pass, Bottom of the Sixth, and Onward to Victory every weekday from 5 to 7 p.m. to get your fill on the biggest takes and trends going on in music, news, and sports. Make sure to tune in at blazeradioonline.com.
Welcome back to Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Bottom of the first, ready to go here after Cole Carlone and the Sun Devils check up a 0 on the board. Time to meet the batting order for Arizona State. It'll be Landon Hairston leading off. New Contreras is the DH today. He bats second. Dean Toigo, the right fielder, will bat third. The third baseman, Austin Rolig, will bat cleanup. Dominic Smaldino is in the 5-hole playing first base. Dominic Longo, the center fielder, bats 6th, and then 7, 8, 9. Rounding out the order, it's Beckett Savorak, Brody Briggs, the catcher, and P.J. Mutsaridis, the Sun Devil shortstop, rounds out in the 9 hole.
And it's going to be who other than Landon Hairston can step up big. Obviously, we know it. The crowd knows it. The guys wearing green and gray know it. They know how dominant ASU's leadoff hitter it has been and is going to be. But it's who else can step up. Contreras has been a weapon, but he can barely run the base paths right now with his hamstring injury. Other guys have just been maddeningly inconsistent for head coach Willie Bloomquist, and he's been shuffling with this lineup seemingly every game for the last 3 weeks. We'll see it tonight as the recipe for success.
So here comes the left-handed hitting left fielder, Landon Hairston. And .446 batting average, 1570 OPS, 1024 slugging percentage. The only player in Division I baseball slugging over 1,000. Simply unbelievable. As the right-hander on the mound tonight for Baylor is Lucas Davenport. First pitch from the righty to Hairston is slapped the other way into left field. Past the glove of Clements, so Hairston, first pitch, he gets a single to begin the bottom of the first.
ASU loves to swing at the first pitch, much to their head coach's chagrin. They do it at a rate higher than most other teams in the Big 12. Some guys find success. We'll talk about P.J. Mutsaridis later. Other guys are a little bit worse, like Matt Polk, but Hairston is going to find success whenever he swings at whatever pitch he gets. But that's exactly how you work it as a lefty against a righty. You got to shorten up, work the opposite field. Good job there.
Davenport ready for the first pitch against New Contreras as he fouls that one back off the screen. 96 on the fastball there from Davenport. It'll be J.J. Kennett behind the plate. Clements at third, Sanders at short, Reebok at second, Armstrong at first. That's the infield for Baylor. As the 0-1 is down and away for ball number 1, taken by Contreras. Johnson in left, Caraway in center, and Janusek in right for the Bears in the outfield. Hairston takes his lead off first. 1-1 the count. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. Davenport deals another foul back straight into, I believe that's the Baylor broadcast booth.
Hopefully everybody's okay in there.
So a 1-2 count here to New Contreras. Trying to put something in play here. .354 batting average on the year. He's been in and out of the lineup with a hamstring injury. Davenport deals one low in the dirt, ball 2 count even. Contreras, 127 ABs, 45 hits, one shy of 40 RBIs. He's got 11 home runs on the season as well. 2-2 from Davenport. Ripped foul up the left side. We'll have a redo on the 2-2. Just Hairston on the base pass to this point. Dean Toigo is on deck. Austin Roleg next up if it gets that far for ASU. But here's the 2-2, low, ball 3. Again, 96 on that heater. And coming into this game, looking at Davenport's splits, he wasn't necessarily a guy that was going to light up the radar gun.
Yeah, their head coach described him as a pitcher, not a thrower. And that's so apt for a guy like him.
Payoff pitch. A called strike 3. They throw over to second. Hairston's going, and they say he's out. The old strike him out, throw him out, double play. Heck of a throw from Kennett behind home plate. And just like that, there's 2 down.
Crowd doesn't like it. I think the umpire got it right. I mean, he looked gunned by a good second. For some reason, he slid, and he didn't dive. I thought that was an interesting decision there. I mean, Hairston's such a talented hitter. He's got one of the best swings in the country. He is not a phenomenal, explosive athlete, but Willie Bloomquist wants to have some words, it seems.
Willie Bloomquist was pointing towards the headset signal, saying we need to look at that. Boy, it's pretty early for Willie to be charged up here.
Oh, yeah.
But they're going to have a conversation. Travis Eggert is going over to his third base umpire, Brian Drury, and I think they're going to have a look at this thing. Local time here in Phoenix, sun beginning to set. But boy, this wind has still been kicking up, and that's one thing for this ASU offense a lot of those hitters have to have their eyes wide open seeing the wind blow straight out to center field. The ball flies naturally here anyways. So as of right now, there's 2 out and nobody on the base paths, but that would all be dependent on this review. New Contrades was so-called struck out looking.
Wow. I was unsure what the hesitancy was from the second base umpire. The call at home was not his call. He's supposed to make that call out there, but he seemed to appeal to whatever the call at home was before he made a decision. That was weird. He handled that weird. And I think that's why Bloomquist was so upset.
I think Eggert as well made a late strike 3 call because that was a close pitch at the knees on the outside corner for Contrades to take, and I think that's what kind of threw everything out of whack.
But I think they got him by a mile out there. Yeah.
So call stands. Hairston's out, 2 down, nobody on, and here is the right fielder, Dean Toigo. So, boy, a couple runners caught stealing early in this ball game. So Toigo, another guy in this lineup with a lot of pop off his bat. Takes the first pitch at the knees. Fastball in there for strike number 1. Boy, the crowd really not happy with there as parlays a close call at the knees with that previous call on the caught stealing at second base. 0-1 the count, 2 down. As Toigo rips this in the air, deep right field, back to the wall is Janicek. He watches that one fly. That'll get the crowd going. Dean Toigo, how do you do? It's a solo shot. And the Sun Devils are up 1-0.
Bloomquist's probably not going to be too happy, probably going to think, wow, we could have had another run there. But nonetheless, a home run's a home run. Toigo got all over that one. And that's what happens when you don't throw incredibly hard. If guys are seeing the spin out of your hand, they know what's coming. Toigo read that well, put his bat on it. And the big 6'4" frame did the rest, barreled it over the right center field wall. And that's the swing of a guy that's been in college for 6 years.
There's a little dent on the scoreboard, actually, as to where I believe that ball hit.
Did it hit it? That
ball hit that, yeah.
That ball hit the score. That's what that green dot on the scoreboard. No, because it's one up there right by Rolig's face. I think the scoreboard's just bugging.
Well, let's see. Fouled away by Austin Rolig. It's a 1-1 count now as Luke and I were deciding where that ball actually landed. Regardless, it's the 16th home run of the season for Dean Toigo, and you think, man, he should be leading this team in home runs. Well, you'd be wrong.
Well.
Third baseman Austin Rolig hitting .301. Fastball at the knees just misses. But again, he's sitting. Davenport is in the mid to upper 9s so far. Good sign for this Baylor pitching staff. His fastball certainly looking firm early on. 2-1 on the way. High for ball number 2 to Rolig.
And honestly, if I'm Willie Bloomquist, I gotta see more from Rolig. I mean, this guy was all Big 12 honorable mention last year, all Big 12 freshman team. He's hitting over 300, but barely, and he just has not done well with runners on. This is an important series for him moving forward.
Rolig chops this right side. It gets through. Gets between Reebok and Armstrong into right field. So right on cue, Luke. There we go. It's a base knock for Austin Rolig with 2 away.
It's a sign of an offense that might be seeing the ball pretty well. If you hit a solo shot, but then the next at-bat is drawn out, slow, you take your time to shorten up. Rolig wasn't trying to take one big swing and go back-to-back. He knew exactly what he was. He knew exactly what the plan was, how to attack, and he executed successfully. Early doors, it looks better than it's been for ASU's offense.
So here's Dom Smaldini. Johnson going back, climbs the wall. He's going to watch another one sail. First pitch bomb for Beckett Savorik. Second solo shot of the night. Third home run of the night. And the Sun Devils are up 4-0.
ASU has struggled for much of the season with runners in scoring position. It's driven Willie Bloomquist crazy. You can't struggle with runners in scoring position when all you do is hit home runs, Lochlan. And that's exactly what they've done so far tonight.
So here's the left-handed hitting catcher, Brody Briggs. The veteran comes to the plate here for ASU. Still nobody out, base is empty after Zavorik touched them all.
And I mean, I'm already starting the chest pump counter for Briggs. He takes one like after every pitch.
First pitch from
Right
Davenport.
there, tapped his chest, turns dugout, does a little flare with the shoulders. It's literally every pitch fires the whole team up. Bloomquist loves it. But it did get him ejected from a game last weekend, or 2 weekends ago.
Tempers were flaring against Utah here.
Oh, yeah.
1-0.
Yep, number 2.
Should have one of those umpire tickers.
I was thinking about that. Those can't be much. I should just invest in one of those. Just in life. It just would be nice to have one of those.
Dick's Sporting Goods.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Target.
I'm sure they're $10, $20.
Davenport's 2-0 to Briggs. Fastball at the knees. There's strike number 1. Sun Devils have had a history of lineage in dugout leaders that are also behind the plate. You think back to the Trey Newman days.
Ryan Campos as well.
Ryan Campos.
Doing pretty well with Minnesota right now.
You will know why I love it and why you should too. It's every Tuesday at 4:30 on blazeradioonline.com. So sit back, relax, and enjoy learning about our new obsession.
Welcome into the College Carousel. We unpack the latest in college sports from basketball to football to softball and more. Join your host, Anthony.
Welcome back to Phoenix Municipal Stadium. And Beckett Zavorik leading things off against Lucas Davenport. He takes strike 1 here in the bottom of the 4th. 5-1 lead for the Baylor Bears. 7 hits for the Sun Devils, just 2 for Baylor. Zavorik, he is 1 for 1 with a home run as he gets sorted on that second pitch there, 0-2 count. Zavorik saw the first pitch and took it deep to left field. He's in an 0-2 count here. He pokes this the other way down the right field line, and it's caught on the run by Janusek in fair territory, just barely. But that's out number 1 here for Baylor. So here's the left-handed hitting catcher Brody Briggs. Struck out in his last plate appearance. He shows bunt, pulls away, but it's called a strike. Maybe try to beat the shift a little bit here as Sanders is behind the bag at second. Reebok is in the 3-4 hole at second base, and there's just one infielder on the left side. It's Clements, the third baseman, playing well off the line. Well, the 0-1 is yanked inside to Briggs. Count even at 1 apiece. Luke Lendler, Lochlan, McTeague with you here at Phoenix Municipal on a breezy Friday evening. 1-1 inside again, 2 balls and a strike.
Davenport likes to work inside a lot against lefties. It was moderately successful against Harrison in his second at-bat, but the first at-bat against Harrison led to kind of a jam-up single going the other way. He got Briggs the last time he threw against him, but I can understand the strategy for that.
Chop foul behind home plate by Brody Briggs, evens up the count at 2 apiece.
It's moments exactly like that. When you pound fastballs on the inside of the zone, you speed up guys. Then you can go off speed to the outside of the zone. Suddenly things are just poked off the end of their bat because they're up out ahead and they're stabbing at things. It works against the shift behind you, but it's an effective strategy to put guys off their heels.
Briggs taps another one foul behind the dish. Probably getting a few more chest bumps in this AB. That's actually something I hadn't noticed until you pointed it out. And now I don't think I'll ever unsee it for the rest of the season here. 2-2 from Davenport. Swung on and chopped over to first base. Armstrong takes it to the bag himself, 2 away. So here's PJ Moutsaritas now at the bottom of the order. He flew out to right field, and in the first pitch he saw, I should say, so He's a guy that's been aggressive early in counts, but then as the at-bat progresses, specifically in 2 strikes, the interesting thing about him is he's taken some of the most 2-strike pitches in the country. Mutsaritas doesn't go after that one. It misses down and away for ball number 1.
That's a good pull, Mr. Lochlan. That's a good hit-school pull, but that's something that is one of the big reasons he can be a little bit more useful at the bottom of the lineup when pitchers are gassed out.
Similar spot there. That time it's called a strike.
They're not going to have their out pitches as much when, there are suddenly 3 or 4 guys into an inning. So you will get their weaker stuff, especially late in counts.
The 1-1 inside for ball number 2. Mutsaritas batting .297. Seems like par for the course for this lineup is right around 300. Now up in the zone, that's called a strike. Looked like he jammed him up and in with that almost front door slider. Up near his ribs, but nonetheless gets the call. So Deuce is wild on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. 2-2 is yanked in the dirt, well past the catcher, Kennett. But it doesn't matter. Nobody on base for Arizona State, so just a full count offering coming up here from Lucas Davenport. Payoff pitch here with 2 away. Foul back out of play into the seats. Just to our right.
Clank. Ooh.
Bounces into the crowd and looks like one kid came up with the ball. Good second effort.
After a scrap.
Trying to find his pitches. Mutsaritas in a 3-2 count. The offering. Sliced foul. It's a hot shot into the seats. Look out. One thing about Muni compared to other MLB and even other minor league ballparks is there's no netting that extends the full way of the seats or the full length of the seats. So especially the student section on both sides, you got to be alert.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can't come here and talk to your friends for an hour and a half because you're going to get a hot shot in there as that one's up high, ball 4. Really good at-bat for P.J. Mutsaritas.
And that at-bat is particularly important because of how many pitches it took. That's an 8-pitch at-bat that he turned into a walk. So suddenly we're looking at a pitcher whose count is up to 65 through 4. And then you have the most dangerous hitter in the country coming up in a right-left matchup. If there's any time for Harrison to pounce on the first pitch, it's probably here. You can't expect anything too perfect, especially given how tired his arm is. Oh.
And a tremendous swing from Harrison, but he waves at that one. Got him down to a knee, did Davenport. Looked like he wanted to golf that one over the national champion sign in right center. 0-1 the count here. Davenport's offering to Hairston. Hairston pulls this foul, but boy, he got a lot of that baseball. You could tell his eyes lit up when he saw that out of the hand. It looked like an off-speed pitch there from Davenport. So Mutsaritas, the man on first with 2 away, and here's Landon Hairston with 2 strikes. Mutsaritas going on the pitch, taken by Hairston. Throw is high and away. Good job by Sanders to corral that, but P.J. Mutsaritas has successfully swiped a bag here. He's in scoring position, 180 feet from home with 2 away. So Landon Hairston, he's batting .447 on the season, .487 with runners in scoring position as well, and .514 with 2 outs. So he takes that one on the outside corner. Boy, that's a gutsy take.
He got bailed on that one, Lochlan. That did not look like a ball to me. Then again, we're a little off center from where we're seeing it from.
But that spot has been called tonight,
that
for
spot
sure.
has been a strike tonight. I think Harrison knew it too. You could big gulp when he saw that go by.
Gets a second chance. Here's the 2-2, and Davenport wins the battle. Strike 3. Down goes Landon Hairston. 1 man left on base. The Sun Devils go down scoreless for the first time in this ball game. They're still up 5-1 on the Bears. Baylor trying to cut into the lead in the top of the 5th. Next on Blaze.
4.
Is that what your golf game sounds like? Well, mine too. But hey, if you play, that means you love golf. And if you want to love golf Tuesdays from 12:30 to 1 p.m. Arizona time, then you can join me, Brennan Bucher, on Blaze Radio Online for all things scores, equipment, leaderboards, and event coverage. It's everything from the Corn Ferry to Live to the PGA Tour. If it's golf, it's on the 16th hole on Blaze Radio Online.
In a world where sports movies are forbidden, two friends try to save the world one radio show at a time before it's too late.
Thankfully, sports movies are not banned yet. But you should still listen to Friday Night Lights Camera Action every Friday at 7 p.m. Arizona time. Your hosts, Ethan Neal and Parker Perrell, will have you covered with your favorite sports movies with insightful and funny commentary. This is your chance to listen to Blaze Radio's premier sports movie talk show before sports movies are banned forever.
Now go out there and take it.
Have you ever had deep conversations with your friends before? Like the ones that leave you learning something completely new that you never thought of before? Well, there's a show for that right here on Blaze Radio. On Let's Have a Conversation, host Rome Cady introduces you to a new guest each week and has fun yet real conversations with them. Whether it's sports, music, or pop culture, anything goes. So come kick your feet up and relax after a long week and tune in to BlazeRadioOnline.com every Friday from 4:30 to 5 p.m. Arizona time for an interesting conversation each week. That's BlazeRadioOnline.com.
We are back for the top of the fifth here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. He's Luke Lendler. I'm Lochlan McTeague. Thank you so much for joining us here on a Friday night in the Valley of the Sun as left-hander Cole Carlone takes the hill once again. Sun Devils up 5-1. Pearson Reebok at the dish. He takes one for a strike. Reebok 0 for 1 with a strikeout as well. It's been a pretty nice night for Carlone to this point. He's given up just one solo home run. He's got 7 strikeouts to 1 walk. Through 4 innings of work, just 2 hits given up as well. All the 1 guys, the 1-1 is fouled back, strike 2. He's been mixing the sinker-slider combo really well, and you have to when you're a sinker-slider guy, especially out of that 3/4 arm slot as well.
And when you have that sinker-slider combo almost on the back burner.
1-2, outside corner, strike 3 called.
You took the
Reebok.
words right out of my mouth. I was going to say it helps you lead with that fastball and charge with that fastball. It's like Carlone is trying to make a meal, and he's got something simmering on the back plate. He got his sauce simmering in the back. That's his combo. That's his off-speed mélange on the back burner, simmering. Meanwhile, he's searing a steak up front. The heat's turned way up, and he's firing those fastballs in there. But when he wants to switch it up, he drops the sauce in, get some fire in the pan. That's exactly what he's doing.
I'm very hungry now.
Me too.
Can
you tell that I am too?
I have a steak in my fridge.
Oh,
actually.
Man. I don't think I've had a steak in 9 months.
Ooh, that's a big mistake.
Dining hall not doing steak, brother.
Carlone in an 0-1 count now to the catcher J.J. Kennett as Luke and I start talking about beef. Curveball, looks like he lost the grip a little bit, runs high for ball number 1. Carlone struck out 5 of his last 6 hitters, including 4 in a row. 1-1. Fastball in there comfortably for strike 2. Some light movement in the Sun Devil bullpen, but I can't imagine too much until maybe the 6th inning.
If Bluequist told Carlone he's coming out, Carlone would punch him in the face right now. I mean, he's cruising.
1-2. Yanked in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Sitting at 68 pitches, potentially 68 through 5. I mean, that is, or even in low 70s through 5 is exactly where you want to be.
2 balls and 2 strikes to the Baylor catcher with 1 away. Rips this in the air, deep left. Hairston on the run at the wall, and that's out of here. J.J. Kennett continues the solo home run train. That's the 2nd of the night for the Bears. as they trail now by 3.
A good run to get back there. Way to take advantage of a guy that maybe took his foot off the gas a little bit in Carlone. And for ASU, I'm telling you, Lochlan, if this game gets close, gets within a run or two in those last frames, we're going to look back at that bases loaded, no outs, and or at least ASU fans are going to look back at those bases loaded, no outs, and coaches and say, how did they not get more out of this?
So after all that, that's the first home run for Kennett this season, and against one of the best pitchers in the country. Both these teams certainly taking advantage of the wind blowing directly out to center field. Now the 1-0 to Ty Johnson, the left fielder, just missed outside. This crowd is getting a little angsty now. (2-0 from Carlone, high for ball 3. This is a count we have not seen him in so far tonight, is a 3-0 count.
This is a, now he's wavering. This is definitely his biggest waver we've seen so far tonight. Can he gut out this frame is a question.
Comes right back with a bread and butter fastball. So still a hitter's count for Ty Johnson. Grounded into a PFP. That started with Smaldino, finished with Carlone. His last at bat as he skies this high in the air, straight away left field. Hairston runs in a couple steps and makes the play for the second out. So Johnson is retired, and that'll make way for the DH for Baylor, Dylan Perez. It was the lone walk for the Bears this season. Or this game, I should say, this season. Probably had plenty of walks this season. Perez, 225 hitter. He's got a 347 OBP. Carlone skips one in the dirt for ball number 1.
You can tell he's getting a little bit frustrated with himself. I think that's natural for a pitcher as emotional as he is. But the most important thing for him is to find that concentration level again and just get back to that bread butter fastball like you've talked about.
The 1-0 misses low again. Looks like a sinker that time that he just didn't execute low in the zone. Briggs will trot out to chat to his left-hander.
Good meeting here from Briggs. I like this idea. Settle him down, but don't make him feel too pressurized by bringing the infield in with you. It's you and the pitcher, you and the guy you've known for years, you've called this entire game with. Because this is I understand there's 2 outs, the bases are empty. This is still an important spot. You don't want this thing to slip away because a single or a double here and suddenly there's a guy on or even more demoralized. Carlone, because you to punch out, a pop out. But the last thing he wants to do is just incite a chain, especially with the lineup card flipping over relatively soon.
Carlone comes back, the 2-0 misses low, so again another 3-0 count. He got out of the last one. He'll need to do it again here if he wants to get out of this inning. 3-0 at the knees, just called a strike. Good frame from Briggs. Looks like he stole one there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Still a hitter-friendly count for the left-handed hitting DH for the Bears. The 3-1. Low and away, ball 4. Second walk of the night for Carlone. Perez is aboard with 2 away. That'll bring up Bo Caraway, the center fielder, bottom of the order, trying to turn things over to the top.
If the top of the order gets up in this frame, suddenly Bloomquist is probably looking at his bullpen saying, hey guys, can we warm up a little bit quicker? Can we move a little bit with a little bit more urgency?
Got to be thinking Jeremy Accardo would be making some calls pretty fast and furious. Big swing and a miss on the slider from Caraway. Strike number 1.
Important to get ahead of the count early there from Carlone.
So that's the second walk of the night as well for Perez. He was issued a free pass in his first AB versus Carlone. Earned his way on, but Caraway not doing the Bears any favors there. 2 pitches, 2 strikes taken. So he's in a hole, trying to flip this lineup back to the top. 0-2 from Carlone. Outside corner, just misses.
He's gotten that call before tonight, but that call's also been a ball before tonight. It's been a relatively inconsistent spot.
It's changed righty-lefty, I've noticed as well.
Yeah, that's a good observation.
Carlone's 1-2 now. Fouled. Oh, that's a hot shot into the student section. Holy smokes. I want to know the metrics off the bat. That had to be 90 plus.
Those kids are there. They got out of the way. You heard the thunk of it hitting the bleachers. Young legs, spry, you know.
Thank goodness.
I don't know if you'd be moving like that, old man.
I don't know either, to be honest. Carlone's 1-2. Just missed on that outside corner
That's
again.
another one where I was surprised that he didn't get the call there.
A gutsy take from Caraway. He's still in this thing. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The lefty kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. He got him with the slider. Carlone gets out of it. But the Bears, for the second consecutive inning, get to Carlone with another solo shot. The Sun Devils lead 5-2. Big inning coming up, the bottom of the 5th. It'll be Contrades, Toigo, and Rolig when we come back here on Blaze.
It's official. Blaze Radio has once again been voted as the top streaming radio station in the country by Intercollegiate Broadcasting System. Blaze Radio continues to be the standard when it comes to college student radio and is honored to once again receive this incredible award. We could not do what we do without you. So we thank you for listening to Blaze Radio, BlazeRadioOnline.com.
This isn't just talk, it's football unleashed. Join AJ Gonzalez,
Sebastian Fryer,
and Trevor Cox as they break down the biggest hits, the boldest plays, and they have the takes that will shake the gridiron.
I still think the Ohio State Buckeyes are winning a national championship.
Think this Broncos team can make the wild card.
I think Emeka Egbuka can reach Amon-Ra St. Brown Heights.
This is 3 for 60. It's every Tuesday from 3 to 4 o'clock with AJ Gonzalez, Sebastian Fryer, and Trevor Cox. Only on
the world famous Blaze Radio.
What if your favorite player never got injured, or what if the biggest trade never even happened?
Well, take a step into the multiverse every Thursday at 8 p.m. with Jacob Shanker, Crawford McKinstry, and Justin Lacertosa as they discuss some of the biggest what-ifs in NBA history and see how it alters basketball forever.
With basketball into the multiverse.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Phoenix Municipal Stadium on what has turned from dusk to night outside of downtown Phoenix. Lochlan, McTeague to my right. I am Luke Lendler, and ASU and Baylor are doing battle right now. We're past the halfway point. We're basically on the downhill from here if you're thinking about this like we're climbing a mountain. And New Contrades is up to the plate against Lucas Davenport, still in for Baylor. He's thrown 4 innings, allowed 7 hits, 5 earned runs, but had his first scoreless frame of the game in the last inning as the first pitch is in the dirt and Contrades swung through.
Contrades has had kind of a tale of 2 plate appearances here. He had a somewhat uncompetitive strikeout where he went down looking on that strike him out, throw him out double play, and then a team AB where he took a walk.
0-1 is chopped foul on the third base line. Coming on to make the play.
Again, for Davenport, they always say in baseball it's the 3rd time through the order that can really bite you, and the bulk of this Sun Devil order is up here, so we'll see if he can navigate this effectively.
Swing and a foul back.
That was a high fastball there, up almost at the collarbone of New Contrades. I know a lot of guys, they light up when they see pitches up in the zone, but I don't know if that's his pitch there.
0-2 facing Contrades, the pitch. Curveball outside. Gets one back for the hitter. Contrades hitting .352 on the season, 11 home runs. One of a handful of Sun Devils in double digits, but he's in the teens. Landon Harrison in the 20s. 1-2. Misses outside with a fastball cutter, something of that nature, just not as slow as the pitch before it.
Coming into this year as well, Contrades was the guy, it seemed like he was going to be the focal point of this offense. This team was going to live and die with him. And even though he's been in and out of the lineup with injury, the beat still goes on for this offense.
2-2 is tased into the outfield, going back, looking up at the wall, and making the catch is Caraway. The crowd swelled. Contrades hobbled a little bit quicker than usual. He thought he might have had one, but right in the corner where those right field and left field walls meet to form a triangle out by that 395 sign is how far the ball traveled.
Yeah, you hit that to the absolute deepest part of Phoenix Municipal, and the wind tried its best there. Got to give it to the wind. Got to give it to Mother Nature. She tried her best to give that ball a good ride, but I think he just spun that a little bit too much off the end of his bat.
First pitch to Toigo, swing and a miss. The UNLV transfer had a big home run his first at-bat. Got a single his next at-bat, which loaded the bases in the third. ASU unable to score in that, or excuse me, scored one run in that frame off a double play. Next pitch to him, same result, 0-2.
And Toigo, with that home run, continued a really good stretch. He's got RBIs in 22 of his last 30 games. Staple in the middle of the order this season for the Sun Devils.
0-2, Chopper, first base foul.
But boy, how about Davenport as well? You're facing a couple talented hitters off the start, and you get them both in 0-2 counts. That's a really, really good job. He's settled in, especially after that first inning. You thought maybe ASU might spook him a little bit with those home runs. He's been confident all night.
0-2, swing and a Taze ground ball through the gap. Toigo will hold up at first, and the big first base, the big right fielder, has 3 hits on the night. He's 3 for 3. That one his second single in a row. And ASU has one aboard with one gone, leading 5-2 in the bottom of the 5th.
Boy, that's a good 2-strike approach there, because you could tell Toigo was sitting off speed. You thought he was going to give the off speed, and Davenport tried to beat him with a fastball up and away from his hands, and he's just able to stay with his approach and be somewhat on time to get that fastball. That's what hitting coaches praise. Even when you're sitting a pitch, still be on time for the fastball.
Davenport's offering to Rolig is popped up high in the air. Bears converging in foul territory and making the catch is Reebok. So 1 pitch, 1 swing, and now 2 outs for Arizona State.
You've talked about when Willie Bloomquist would maybe be upset. That's definitely one of them for Austin Rolig there. That's not the swing, not the spot you need for a lazy fly ball. Sun Devils have thrived when they've been driving balls into the gaps, and obviously they hit the long ball, but anyone can hit the long ball when you play as many games here as the Sun Devils do.
First pitch to Smaldino, fastball in there for a called strike, 94. Smaldino has a home run of his own in this contest. Hit his 8th of the season. Back in that first inning where ASU put up a 3-spot, throw over to first. Just a courtesy check. Toigo going with no sliding mitt, no gear. Kind of doing it the old-fashioned way over there. He got a little, there's a mustache too.
It's gritty. I like it.
Pulled him straight out of the 80s. No balls and a strike, 2 gone, runner on first, facing Smaldino. Davenport kicks and fires. Swinging a liner into the gap. This will get down, and it could be extra bases. Toigo's getting around second, head to third. They're waving him home. Smaldino's in a second standing. Toigo is into home standing, and ASU tacks on an insurance run. Big swing from a big guy, and the Sun Devils lead 6-2.
That's his 3rd RBI in 3 ABs. That's huge from Dom Smaldino, and that's what he does. One of the most attractive hits in baseball is a gap double to the opposite field over either the second base or shortstop set. And if you're a right-handed hitter and you're a line drive hitter like that, that is perfectly pinpoint what you want to do. Just lasered that into the gap, and boy, you talk about Dean Toigo not having any sliding gear. Why would you need sliding gear when you're going to score at home standing up?
So Toigo and Smaldino link up for the second time in this game, and now Longo, will step in her right. Not Longo. Garrett Michelle steps in for Longo. Pretty early to call a pinch hitter, wouldn't you say, Lochlan, in the 5th frame? First pitch is a swing and a miss to him.
Longo, a ground out and a strikeout on his line, so maybe a potential injury or
Came
just
to my mind.
Bloomquist wanting to switch things up and test things with Michelle. He's hitting .306 this season.
Virginia Tech transfer hurt last season, the 0-1. Skips the dirt.
And you might be thinking, well, if he's a platoon guy, well, maybe he's just had a couple good games, and that's why his average is at 300. No, this is his 99th at bat of the season. So he's up there amongst the rotational players for Arizona State.
1-1. Swing and a miss. Smaldino stands on second. Michelle in the left-handed batter's box. As Davenport comes set, kicks and delivers the 1-2. Swinging a chopper, foul, first base line. Baylor's outfield about in their original spots. Infield shifted slightly to the pull side. Not as aggressively as ASU likes to deploy. 1-2. Ball in the dirt. An appeal for a swing, but I don't even know if Michelle took that bat off his shoulder.
Didn't look like it. If it did, it was maybe an inch or two. But I think that the shift for Baylor here is just guarding a chopper up the middle. I think that's why Sanders is right behind the bag almost at second.
2-2. 2 gone. Runner on second to Michelle, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Davenport got him. 1 run, 2 hit, 1 man left. ASU tacks on an insurance run, leads 6-2. And Carlone is out for the 6th frame. We'll be back after this.
Have you ever had deep conversations with your friends before? Like the ones that leave you learning something completely new that you never thought of before? Well, there's a show for that right here on Blaze Radio. On Let's Have a Conversation, host Rome Cady introduces you to a new guest each week and has fun yet real conversations with them. Whether it's sports, music, or pop culture, anything goes. So come kick your feet up and relax after a long week and tune in to BlazeRadioOnline.com every Friday from 4:30 to 5 p.m. Arizona time for an interesting conversation each week. That's BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Do you like MMA or UFC? Well, come check out Unanimous Decision, the all-purpose MMA show where we interview professional fighters and debate past, current, and future events in the UFC. Tune in every Monday at 7:30 p.m. for the Unanimous Decision.
Blaze Radio staple shows are back. Tune into Open Mic, Traffic Jam, Press Pass, Bottom of the Sixth, and Onward to Victory every weekday from 5 to 7 p.m. to get your fill on the biggest takes and trends going on in music, news, and sports. Make sure to tune in at BlazeRadioOnline.com.
We're through 5 into 6 here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Luke Lendler, Lochlan McTeague alongside me, and Cole Carlone still out on the bump for Arizona State. Sitting at 89 pitches. He's tacked into the triple digits in 2 of his last 3 starts. And he now stares down the top of Baylor's order. Travis Sanders got the best of Carlone in their last matchup, hitting a home run over the fence in left field. But the 2 guys behind him, Brady Janicek and Tice Armstrong, both 0 for 2. So it's been a mixed bag for Carlone and friends against the top of this order.
I mean, Sanders has 2/3 of the Baylor's hits, if my math is correct.
He's got 2 hits, so yes, he does. 2 out of 3. I didn't know if there was going to be some weird metric conversion thing, you know, Canadians and all that.
No, actually, I mean, fair guess.
Worth a shot. Carlone's first offering is slapped the opposite way. This could get down, and it does for a base hit. It's into the corner and over the wall. So a ground rule double for Travis Sanders. Have a day. Travie, as they call him in the Baylor dugout. He's got 3 hits. He's a triple away from the cycle, and Baylor's immediately got a runner in scoring position with just 1 pitch into the 6th frame.
And now the tough part for this lineup, because, I mean, that's nothing new from Sanders in this ballgame tonight. He's been seeing it really, really well from Carlone, and the other 8 guys haven't. And you need something here. You got your other 2 best hitters coming up. You got to drive them in.
First pitch to Janicek is up high on the fastball. Brady Janicek on that 6-game hitting streak, trying to keep it rolling, but he struck out in both appearances so far. Carlone having his number. The 1-0 is swung on and missed. Briggs there to gobble it up behind the plate. So the count's even. It seemed like Sanders, who has been a very aggressive base runner so far, jumped out but didn't realize the consequence of what had occurred. Probably could have swiped third if he was really on his P's and
I
Q's.
think he could if he just committed. There was a step of hesitation where he cut back, and it was too late at that point.
1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. Popped up, tailing foul, Smaldino on his horse, hustling to the fence, and he will just miss the ball. It did land short of the fence, but that's a tough play to make for anybody. Had to make it in the breadbasket if he got there. The fans up on the Devil deck give him some recognition for the hustle.
Well, that's just right in no man's land. I mean, it's too far for Toigo to really get on his horse and get a good read on that. Smaldino's got to make an almost impossible Willie Mays-style basket catch. And then that's a tough ask of your second baseman, Zavorik. Thankfully not in fair territory.
So Carlone now ahead in the count, 1-2. Sanders behind him on second. The pitch to Janisic. Swinging a chopper up the middle. Coming on and gloving it is Mutsuritis. He fires it across the diamond, and there's 1 away. But not before Sanders can advance to third. So Baylor is 90 feet from halving its deficit and trailing 6-3.
And that's the right decision there. You know, if you're playing MLB The Show, maybe you try and have your shortstop throw out to third to get the runner. But for Mutsuritis, you can't be doing too much in this ball game, especially there when you got an easy out at first, because if you throw it over your third baseman's head, that's a free run.
First pitch to Armstrong is swung on and missed. Tice Armstrong also 0 for 2 today. He's got a 12-game on-base streak that's cooking. It's the longest on the team. But he's 0 for 2. Next pitch to him. Gets the outside corner. Dropped in that curveball, just 84 miles per hour, but it's tough to see that after he snaps in a 96-mile-an-hour fastball the pitch before. Runner on third, 1 gone. No balls and 2 strikes to Armstrong. The pitch. Swing and a miss. It's in the dirt. Briggs looks back the runner. Fires over to first, gets the out, and holds Sanders in scoring position. Savvy play from the catcher, and there's 2 away.
I mean, just another bread and butter strikeout, it would seem, from Cole Carlone. But again, you said it, Luke, just a nice play that in a game like this can really go unrecognized, because that's easy for a catcher to just pick it up and throw right to first. It's human nature. It's autopilot. And Briggs kind of goes on the manual override and checks the runner at third.
Pinch hitter. It'll be Cole Lancloss for Baylor as he swings and misses at the first pitch.
If this is correct, this is his first AB of the season.
Yeah. Carlone kicks and fires. Swing and a miss from Lancloss. Board says he struck out in the 4th. That's not what you and I had. So we'll see if that gets updated. Infielder, outfielder, right-handed pitcher, freshman from Montgomery, Texas. Down 0-2 to Carlone. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Cole Carlone, 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and he gets through the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. ASU still leads 6-2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th frame with Carlone cruising at Phoenix Municipal Stadium.
Welcome back to Anime Only, the only anime podcast in the West. It's your one-stop shop for manga and anime discussion. With Blake Masterson, Gideon Hendricks, and Nicholas Kittleson, tune in every Friday, 3:30 to 4:30. Hear us debate, decide, and defend your best and worst anime takes. Listen at BlazeRadioOnline.com.
I think it's time to blow this thing. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Hi everyone, this is Bella.
And I'm Landon.
Welcome to Album Splain.
Each week we dissect one album and give our listeners some brand new music news.
There's always laughter and a good time on our show.
Listen as we talk about some of our favorite artists like Pink Panthers and Stevie Nicks, while also talking about what's going on in our lives.
Tune in on Tuesdays at 7 a.m. every week on BlazeRadioOnline.com or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Check out our social media channels at AlbumSplain to learn more.
Toodles.
Toodaloo.
When I say kettle, you say hot. Kettle.
Hot.
Kettle.
Hot.
When I say every, you say Sunday. Every.
Sunday.
Every.
Sunday.
That's right, folks. Every Sunday from 5 to 6 p.m. on BlazeRadioOnline.com. Tune into the Kettle Hut with Nathan Kettle as the host with a special guest each and every week. talking all things sports, including their favorite sports teams, how their seasons are going, and what the future holds, along with a specialty draft of the guests' choosing, where they decide, and we have some fun every Sunday on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Back with you here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium, the cloudy day, hiding the shining stars, but Colt Carlone's had a night to remember so far. Through 6 innings, allowed just 4 hits and 2 runs. On the other side of things, ASU's 6th spot on the board might dissuade people from being otherwise impressed with what has been a pretty efficient performance from Lucas Davenport.
Yeah, I've been really impressed not only with his efficiency of late as this game has gone on, but just how he's been able to roll with the punches. I mean, he's given up his fair share of home runs tonight, I believe 3 to be exact, and that would spook a lot of guys, but Davenport just continues to execute despite that.
Collegiate veteran, you see it in the way he throws. 1-0 to Zavorik, spins it in for a called strike.
And Zavorik being one of those guys, too. I've been really impressed, again, with Carlone, too, about how he's attacked hitters. But it can be mentally weird for a pitcher when a guy's already taking you deep.
1-1. Misses low. So it's a 2-1 facing Zavorik. Zavorik hitting .287 on the year, got 2 home runs. Played a lot as a freshman down the stretch last year with Contreras' injury. Got a home run in the second frame already tonight. 2-1. That one is spun in again. It's been a curveball bonanza for Davenport in this AB. He's dropped 2 of them in for strikes. He's dropped 2 of them low for balls.
I mean, why not? When your fastball's still sitting in the mid-9s, you got to go to that curveball.
2-2. Chopper over to third. Coming on and gloving it is Lanclos. He throws it across the diamond. Takes the first baseman off the bag, but he takes him right into Zavorik. So there's 1 away. A heady play made there by Armstrong to collect the ball and make the tag in one fluid motion.
That's one thing about the curveball for Davenport is the Sun Devils haven't quite been able to square it up really well. They've squared up his fastball a lot tonight, and he locates it well. And when you locate your fastball in the strike zone and with frequency like that, this Sun Devil offense will hit you from time to time, and you just kind of have to live with that, and Davenport has done a really good job at that.
So Davenport with 1 away here in the 6th faces Briggs, who's 0 for 2 tonight. First pitch to him is fouled back. We've seen and an impressive play by a fan draws oohs and ahs from the crowd.
I believe that went into the scorer's press box in there. Huh. Those windows are wide open tonight, and why wouldn't they be?
Exactly. It's a pretty night. We didn't get the greatest sunset, which is disappointing, but a pretty night nonetheless. 0-1 to Briggs. Swing into the outfield. This could get down, and it does for a base hit. Brody Briggs is aboard for the first time in his last 3 starts. As you know, that's got to feel good for a guy that Bloomquist is sometimes called the heart and soul of this team.
Yeah, just a good at-bat there, too. He took the off-speed. He didn't hit it very hard, but he just dropped it in there, beat the shift, hit it over the head of the second baseman, Reebok, and it just found outfield grass. And, again, the more pressure you can put on Davenport, the sooner you can get to this Baylor bullpen, if that's something you really want in this game.
So Mutsaritas digs into that right-handed batter's box. The first pitch to him, a curveball in there. I almost said curveball high, but it just clipped the top of the zone. Mutsaritas walked his last time up. But he faces an 0-1 count with Briggs on first. The pitch. That one missed. Evens the count. ASU leads 6-2 here in the bottom of the 6th, trying to open a pivotal weekend series against Baylor with a win. These are 2 teams sitting nearly right next to each other in RPI, which is an important metric for postseason. 1-1. Curveball again. Misses low again. So 2-1. Baylor's got the better quad 1 and 2 and 3 record. ASU just a little bit better in those quad 4 games, which has given it a better record overall. Puts it higher in the Big 12 standings. Sun Devils haven't lost a series yet, but have dropped 3 straight midweeks. Baylor had buzzed through its midweek opponents, but lost to Sam Houston on Wednesday. 2-1. This one's chopped over to first base and foul. Mutsaritas looks at the bullpen and is usually the dugout, nods and says, "I'm right on that." See if he can put his money where his mouth is.
And this is a big spot here. You had 1 away with your 8-hole hitter. If he doesn't get on, if Briggs doesn't get on, you look at Mutsaritas, has a lot of pressures on him to try and turn the lineup. But if PJ Mutsaritas can get a good AB and get a good team at bat here and turn things over for Hairston, it could be a damage inning.
2-2. Right in front of the mound. It'll stay fair. This will be a tough play. They'll throw to second and get the lead runner. So Briggs never had a chance. Heady play made by Kennett behind the dish. Shed the helmet as soon as he possibly could to give himself a clear line of sight and gun down the lead runner. But Mutsaritis reaches first, like you mentioned, and that lineup card flips over, which means here comes number 3, Landon Harrison.
I'm watching Mitch Thompson here. He looks like he's going to stay in his dugout for now. I was wondering if they'd let Davenport face Hairston for a 4th time.
They want to see the best on best. I think, they believe in their guy. He struck him out last time up. Hairston got a hit in his first at-bat, though, as he sees the first fastball snap in for a called strike. Like you mentioned, big spot here, kind of playing with fire, keeping Hairston in the game. But this is the trust that you put in your upperclassman pitcher on the mound in Davenport. 0-1 facing Hairston, the pitch. That one missed low. They call him Harry Bonds for his power numbers, gaudy power numbers at that. 25 home runs, leads the NCAA. He's 2 off of tying ASU's single-season record. It's the most by an ASU hitter in the BBCOR era of the last decade or so. The pitch. This one is flared the other way, carrying. It could turn foul, but rather under it, and making the catch is Ty Johnson to retire the side. No runs, a hit, 1 man left. ASU comes up blank for the 2nd time in the last 3 innings. We'll go to the 7th, final 3 frames of this Friday night tilt. ASU leads 6-2. We'll be back after this.
Introducing Minor League's major show, Up on Deck. As I'm your host, Tyler Wargo, going to give you guys the insights and the analysis on prospects that surround the minor leagues, and even rating and ranking ballparks that surround the minor leagues. This is Blaze Radio's longest running show, dating back to January of 2022. We hope to see you guys tuning in every Sunday from 6 to 7 p.m. on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Blaze Radio needs your support. If you want to donate to help Blaze Radio, go to BlazeRadioOnline.com and click on the orange box in the top left-hand corner that says Support Blaze Radio, and make a donation today to help ASU's student radio station reach the next level.
Grab your mates and join us for the finest sports show on Blaze Radio, The Irish Hello.
With the wisdom of the Irish duo, you'll have the knowledge of old pals at the pub, sharing each and every moment.
Join Aidan O'Neill and Shay Maloney every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 for breakdowns of sports news across the world as a pot of gold awaits.
Back with you here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Luke Lendler, Lochlan, McTeague, Cole Carlone. Nope, not him, not on the mound. It's a lefty, but it's Sean Fitzpatrick out of the bullpen. Willie Bloomquist referred to the captain as Mr. Rubber Arm heading into the season because of the team's lack of lefties out of the pen. So they're going to test his elasticity here in the 7th with the meat, you could say, of Baylor's order coming up. Not the top of the order nonetheless, but still some decent hitters, 5, 6, and 7. Including J.J. Kennett, who has a home run so far tonight. Fitzpatrick struggled, to say the least, big time last season, posting an 11.72 ERA, the worst among qualified pitchers on the team. But he said this summer was all about the work. He stayed in Arizona. He worked his tail off, and he was named captain. The first captain of the Willie Bloomquist era, the first captains, rather, are Sean Fitzpatrick and Nuke Andradas. And so with 1 in the DH spot and 1 on the bump, we'll see if Arizona State can close this thing out in its last 3 frames. As Pearson Reebok steps to the dish in a left-left matchup. First pitch to him. This one's hit the other way and foul, tailing into the student section and clanking off the wall. So it'll trickle into left field.
The thing that jumps out to me is in 19 innings of work, not only is he 4-1, but he's got 35 strikeouts to just 9 walks, so he really fills it up.
Free passes were a big problem for him last season as his 0-1 is fouled back. And immediately heading the count is Sean Fitzpatrick. They started calling him Fireman Fitzpatrick after the first couple months because Bloomquist just seemingly kept putting him in bases-loaded spots over and over against their non-con competition. He kept getting out of it over and over. That nickname has tailed off as conference play has arrived, but he's still been the Sun Devils' most reliable lefty out of the pen. And he's up 0-2 on Pearson Reebok, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Fitzpatrick kicks and delivers, and there's a swing and a miss. He got him. Hop, skip, and a jump off the mound for the senior. And that's ASU's 11th strikeout of the night.
Looked like a slider that just tailed away at the very end, and just a almost impossible pitch to hit for a lefty. Big confidence boost for Fitzpatrick out of the pen, getting his first punchy of the night.
Speaking of bullpen action, a couple guys in Baylor standing and stretching, but I haven't seen somebody throw yet. Fitzpatrick now faces off against J.J. Kinnett. Whips a fastball just outside. Doesn't like the call, but he resets himself. Kinnett had a home run in his last at-bat. Baylor's most recent run, a 5th inning solo blast. The Bears still trail by 4 here in the top of the 7th. The 1-0. Curveball strike. Evens the count.
One cool thing about that home run was it was a pull side to left field. There's a big palm tree right by the Baylor bullpen. It hit the facing of the palm tree and just kind of stayed in the tree and came down at the last second. I thought that was pretty cool.
It's like a coconut. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Fitzpatrick pumping heat. 94 on the fastball.
I was going to say earlier, he's not a guy that's really going to light up the gun at all, so seeing mid-9s from him is certainly encouraging in this spot.
So Kinnett digs in, trying to fend off a 1-2 count with 1 away. Fitzpatrick kicks and delivers. Fastball in there for a called strike 3. 2 batters faced, 2 Ks, 1 forwards, 1 backwards for Sean Fitzpatrick. As I'm sure Willie Bloomquist and his cardiologist would love nothing more than a calm, easy last 3 innings from his bullpen, which has been a roller coaster of sorts in recent weeks. Blew a couple late leads to Utah. One time the lineup was able to recover and win the game in extras. The other, it was a loss. Fitzpatrick's first offering is a fastball in there for a called strike.
It's been a rocky ride for that bullpen all year, and really that's kind of been the narrative in the Willie Bloomquist era as well, is not being able to get it done outside of your weekend starters.
0-1 to Ty Johnson. Same pitch, same spot, same result. And it's an 0-2 count now facing the outfielder. Ty Johnson rocks 23 in honor of Craig Gentry, his favorite player growing up. And now he's stuck in an 0-2 count with 2 gone against Sean Fitzpatrick. The pitch. Swing and a chopper over to first. This one will find the glove of Zavorak. He'll flip it to Smaldino. And the side is retired. As cool, as calm, as collected as you like, Sean Fitzpatrick saunters off the bump. And ASU will turn to its bats, looking to extend its 6-2 advantage. We'll be back after this.
Welcome into the College Carousel. We unpack the latest in college sports, from basketball to football to softball and more. Join your hosts Anthony Sakuman, Memphis Coles, and Annie Wingert every Tuesday at 4 p.m. streaming on blazeradio.com so we can spin you around the College Carousel.
Grab your mates and join us for the finest sports show on Blaze Radio, The Irish Hello.
With the wisdom of the Irish duo, you'll have the knowledge of old pals at the pub, sharing each and every moment.
Join Aidan O'Neill and Shay Maloney every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 for breakdowns of sports news across the world as a pot of gold awaits.
This isn't just talk, it's football unleashed. Join AJ Gonzalez,
Sebastian Fryer,
and Trevor Cox
as they break down the biggest hits, the boldest plays, and they have the takes that will shake the gridiron.
I still think the Ohio State Buckeyes are winning a national championship.
Think this Broncos team can make the wild card.
I think Emeka Egbuka can reach Amon-Ra St. Brown Heights.
This is 3 for 60. It's every Tuesday from 3 to 4 o'clock with AJ Gonzalez, Sebastian Fryer, and Trevor Cox. Only on
The world famous Blaze Radio.
Back with you here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium, and a new pitcher on the bump for the Baylor Bears. After a pretty impressive performance from its starter, the Bears now turn to Charlie Atkinson, a junior from Katy, Texas, and a Dallas Baptist transfer, big, tall, right-hander. Probably a lot more fire than air. Guns things in there with a fastball. Your classic mid reliever, big, tall guy. So we'll see how ASU can handle the power out of the pen. But due up for the Sun Devils, or at least starting it off, will be New Contradas, Toigo, and Rolig behind him. Toigo having a great day so far. He's 3 for 3.
Yeah, he's seeing the ball really well as Dean Toigo, but this is an important AB for Contradas to kind of get over the hump in this ball game. He hit a ball pretty well to deep center field. I mean, if he pulled it a little bit more, it probably would have left the yard with the wind helping him. But
first pitch to him is hit high and hard into the gap. It's carrying. It's back to the wall, and it's over the wall. Contradas sneaks it over. And ASU tacks one on. It's 7-2 Sun Devils off the bat of New Contradas.
New Contradas, 12 home runs now on the season. An oppo shot. I'd love to see the launch angle on that. Couldn't have been much more than 15 degrees. That it looked like it was going to be a stinger in the gap. And boy, if it got over the wall, it got over there by less than 10 feet.
Contradas will take his home runs where he can get them, I'm sure. As like you mentioned, tacks on number 12 this season. As the top of ASU's lineup, not named Landon Hairston, has come up big tonight, including the guy at the dish right now, Dean Toigo, who faces a 1-0 count. Next pitch to him. Fastball in there for a called strike. He's got a home run. He's got 2 singles so far today. Average up to 344 on the season. Home runs up to 16. 1-1. Foul back.
One thing I've always found interesting is that was Atkinson's first pitch coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
So one, it spooks you a little bit, but I've always noticed that guys really attack off the first pitch of a fresh pitcher, especially in later innings. They're going up there to hit the ball hard.
1-2 to Toigo. High and wide. So a 2-2 count to the right fielder. Swing and a miss there. And Toigo sits down for the first time all game and sends Austin Rolig to the plate. Charlie Atkinson gets a home run off the first pitch he throws, but then sits down a guy who's 3 for 3 on the next at-bat. That's kind of the parody of the bullpen, isn't it?
That's baseball, Luke. I will just say I've been waiting to throw that one out there for a good couple hours now.
Just saying that's baseball?
Yes.
So much of this could be chalked up. We got once a reliever, always a reliever. I honestly forget the one that I dropped in like the 4th. And that's baseball. 1-0 count to Rolig the pitch. Outside on the fastball. So it'll be 2-0 to the third baseman.
See, now you got me thinking back to the 4th. I need to remember what you said here. It's going to bother me.
I'm racking my brain as well, partner. Rolig a pair of singles in his first 2 at-bats. Popped out last time up. 2-0. Missed outside. 3-0. Green light here, or are you just trying to leave the bat on your shoulder and draw a walk?
I would say in a spot like this, there's no need to, just given that you could roll over on a ball, especially if you decided to throw something off speed.
3-0. Spiked in the dirt. 4-pitch walk, and Rolig calmly tosses aside the bat and the protector and takes his rightful ownership of first base.
Especially, too, against a guy who's given up a home run already off his first pitch, who's maybe not fully there. After that, his brain might be a little bit in the blender. Confidence wavering. No need to try and swing at anything in the zone.
So up comes Small Dino, Biggie Smalls. No, not the rapper, the 6'6" first baseman from Cal. First pitch to him, misses high. Jacked a home run in the first inning, a 2-run shot for his 8th of the season. Part of a 3-run opening frame that really gave the Sun Devils an early cushion. They have just been tacking on insurance runs to since that moment. 7-2 lead for the home side. Out hitting Baylor 11-4. And you never know what Willie Bloomquist is going to say after games like this, but if this result holds, you get the sense he'll be not happy, but accepting of the fact that they won this game. But you got to think he's going to turn his eyes immediately to that bases loaded instance where they only got 1 run.
And it's understandable. I mean, when you've been struggling, especially with runners in scoring position, and you have bases loaded, none out, and you come away with only 1 run, it is a missed opportunity in a sense. They really could have blown the doors off this ballgame.
So we're going to get a mound visit here. Out comes Baylor's pitching coach, so it will not be a change. Merely a meeting of the minds. And Lochlan, I got to say, this green and gold of Baylor looking mighty familiar. You and I went down to Waco in September for ASU's Big 12 opener. As somebody who had never been to Texas before then, I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Got some good barbecue.
I think there was a lot of highlights, a lot of lowlights of that trip.
But the lowlights happened in the airport. So was it really our fault?
No, there was a lot of things that happened. I spent more time than I thought I would ever spend in Waco Regional Airport.
Oh yeah,
very nice airport. Very nice airport.
One big room.
Yeah,
it's got what it needs to get.
Quite pleasant.
Oh yeah, nice vending machine. Nice 2 vending machines.
We got some food in Dallas Airport.
That was lovely.
Took the train a couple times.
2-0. Fastball caught the zone. Unfortunately, Dallas Airport food was not as good as the barbecue we had in Waco, because that was pretty good. You know, I tried Whataburger for the first time when I was there. Overrated. Yeah. It was overrated. I was unmoved by the experience.
I would like to think maybe it was a location issue and not an overall brand issue.
We were in Texas, man. 2-1. This one's hit hard but foul. I feel like if you're going to get good Whataburger anywhere, it's just going to be in Texas in general.
And the funniest part about, like, so when we went to eat the barbecue, it was Terry Black's.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking that Terry Black's was some, like, authentic, unique place that we'd found.
Nope,
and Terry Black's
touristy.
is a change. I was just a little disappointed in that, but not disappointed with the food.
2-2. Swing and a miss from Small Dino. He's retired. Is getting the better of the big first baseman is Charlie Atkinson. And this will bring up Sam Myers. Some pinch hit action for Arizona State.
It was initially Garrett Michelle.
Yeah, they've been toying with this spot in the lineup. It seems like Bloomquist is kind of holding a live audition here of sorts.
And of any bench player, Sam Myers is one of the more fitting guys to get more ABs and earn more ABs because he's been hitting well this season.
The coaching staff really liked him out of the offseason, but he struggled out of the gate and then has done well in pinch hit scenarios, and so it's boosted his average. First pitch to him on the way. Squared to bunt, dropped it down nicely. Not a lot of coverage from the Bears. The scoop, the fire is in time. Yes, he got him. Great play by Charlie Atkinson. Pitchers, athletes too. And the side is retired. No runs. 1 run. A big home run on the first pitch of Atkinson's evening gives ASU a 7-2 advantage from New Contreras. And the Sun Devils will take to the 8th, leading by 5. We'll see who comes out on the bump for them, and we'll be back with you after this.
Are you busy on Fridays at 3 p.m.?
Are you bored and looking for entertainment and a good laugh?
Do you want to be educated on Black culture topics in college life?
Well, tune into the Black Tech Podcast
on blazeradioonline.com every Friday at 3 p.m.
I'm not a man of many words, so let's keep this short. First things first, I have a show. What type of show? A radio show. What do I do on this said radio show? Simple, I play music. What kind of music? I play whatever. That's kind of my whole thing. Oh, what time are you on? I usually play late nights on Wednesdays. Like I said, it's kind of my whole thing. But why Wednesdays? I don't know. It was pretty convenient for my time. When do you... You know what? Forget this. Just listen to my show. Whatever FM After Hours, I play every Wednesday night at 9:30 on Blaze. Just tune in, alright?
You know, Timber, I'm glad we're both on the same page. We love fangirling.
Me too, Jazz. That's why we made a whole show about it.
The Fangirl Forum is back and better than ever.
Join us every Sunday at 1:30 p.m. on Blaze Radio to hear the rundown on all our favorite shows, movies, books, and more.
Tune in at blazeradioonline.com. Channel your inner fangirl.
Back with you here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Luke Lendler, Lochlan, McTeague to my right. As ASU will trot out Sean Fitzpatrick for the second straight frame. The senior lefty got through the last inning in short order, retiring the 3 batters he saw. And you get the sense with the lack of high volume warming up in ASU's pen and Bloomquist's penchant for just letting Sean Fitzpatrick go, they might be doing a Sean Fitzpatrick until failure kind of situation here.
I mean, you got to ride the hot hand, right? Especially if he's fresh early in the series. Got to get off to a good start.
So he digs in against Dylan Perez. Para walks to his name tonight. First pitch to him. Swing and a miss. Oh, my God. Perez almost lost his shoes and socks and gloves and bat. And it was almost a yard sale out there how hard he swung at that. And he got nothing but oxygen.
They call that swinging out of your shoes. I've heard.
Second-handian thing? Just kidding. I've heard that too. 0-1 to Perez. Same exact move, except he swung a little less hard, but I'm sure he's got to readjust his helmet after that one. So it's 0-2.
I mean, can't hate the hacks, though. 92 in the
Not
zone.
at all. Sometimes you got to feel like you're challenging the pitcher, and the pitcher's challenging you. Fitzpatrick comes set. 0-2. Captain stares down Perez. Kick and the delivery. Fastball just misses high. Briggs tried to frame it. You could tell he was moving that glove quick, but didn't get the result he wanted.
And again, with no ABS in college baseball, there is still the art of framing for catchers, especially. That was especially prevalent in recent years in the MLB.
1-2. Big swing and a big miss for the third time in the at-bat. Perez is retired. And Fitzpatrick saunters through another one. He's taking on all comers right now. And there's one away. This will bring up Bo Caraway. Another freshman in the bottom of this order. He's 0 for 2 tonight. You know, we were doing our pregame prep. I saw Bo Caraway. First thing I thought of, Bo Callahan. That's just the first thing I thought of. You think
it is draft season.
I'm sure Bo Caraway's teammates came to his birthday party as the pitch just misses outside.
Some ball knowledge dropped right there.
Oh, yeah. Seen that movie a couple times.
Yeah, it's a good watch, especially this time of year.
Yes, it's a fun watch when your expectations are low. Don't expect anything fantastic, but I always enjoy it. 1-0. Fastball in there for a called strike. 93. Still humming around those mid-90s. For a guy that was on a velo guy last season. He said he put on weight, lifted all summer, got his velo up. And we're seeing the proof in the pudding. 1-1. Fouled back, tailing towards the hot dog stand, and unable to catch it on the fly as a guy in a Hawaiian shirt, and into the cold beer and cheeseburgers booth. So hopefully nobody lost a cold beer or a cheeseburger, because that ball had an appetite for destruction.
Be a darn shame.
1-2 to Caraway. The delivery. Fastball high, missed, and Caraway checked.
That's a sneaky pitch there because of Fitzpatrick's three-quarter, almost submarine-esque arm slot.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing a fastball up, that's got to look way more appealing than the actual location.
2-2 facing Caraway now, trying to get on base for the first time tonight. Fitzpatrick trying to retire his 5th straight. The pitch. Fouled back, shortening up and staying alive is the freshman. Trying to turn that lineup card over with a guy on base.
To the man who's seemingly done it himself tonight, done almost all of the damage for Baylor. Single, double, home run, triple shy of the cycle is Travis Sanders.
2-2. Took the pitch, took the ball. Right on the inside edge. And Sean Fitzpatrick can't get the call.
Boy, where'd that miss?
Inside
Maybe
edge.
low?
It missed.
It's a competitive spot, lefty-lefty, I'll tell you that
It
much.
missed by a tad. Wherever it missed by a hair. 3-2. On the way. Swing and a miss. He got him. Sean Fitzpatrick retires his 5th consecutive batter. And the senior rolling his windows down and cruising through 1 2/3 so far.
This is the big test, though. Top of the order,
Oh, yeah.
even 2 out, space is empty still. Travis Sanders has been a thorn in the side of the Sun Devils all evening long here.
Fitzpatrick stares down Sanders. Sanders Hit a single in the first, got around to third, tried to steal home, unsuccessful. First pitch to him is a fastball that clips the outside corner. So it's 0-1. Got caught stealing, trying to go home. But the next time he got to touch home free of charge after swinging one over the fence for Baylor's first run. And last time up, he roped a double down the right field line. See what he's got in store against Fitzpatrick. The 0-1. Took it again. Just missed outside.
You know what's interesting about that swing of momentum between Sanders getting caught stealing at home? I think if that run scores, it spooks ASU, it spooks Carlone, and I think this game goes drastically different from there because the Sun Devils put up a 3-spot and kind of erased that memory from their minds.
1-1 from Fitz. This one's up the middle. Could be a tough play, but Zavorak gobbles it up and fires it over to first. Nice play by Beckett at second. Fitzpatrick points to the sky. He's retired 6 straight in relief as the crowd rises in honor of the senior. The captain holding down the fort. ASU leads 7-2, and we go to the bottom of the 8th.
This isn't just talk, it's football unleashed. Join AJ Gonzalez,
Sebastian Fryer,
and Trevor Cox
as they break down the biggest hits, the boldest plays, and they have the takes that will shake the gridiron.
I still think the Ohio State Buckeyes are winning a national championship.
Think this Broncos team can make the wild card.
I think Emeka Egbuka can reach Amon-Ra St. Brown Heights.
This is 3 for 60. It's every Tuesday from 3 to 4 o'clock with AJ Gonzalez, Sebastian Fryer, and Trevor Cox. Only on
The world famous Blaze Radio.
If you're happy on a Sunday, tune into The Jay Fu Show. If you're happy on a Sunday, tune into The Jay Fu Show. If you're happy on a Sunday and you want to crush the day and or the week ahead, tune into The Jay Fu Show. That's right, I'm Jack Footer, aka Jay Fu, back with you Sunday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. for another awesome semester of The Jay Fu Show. So tune in and you will say it's the best time you've had all week.
Are you busy on Fridays at 3 p.m.?
Are you bored and looking for entertainment and a good laugh?
Do you want to be educated on Black culture, topics, and college life?
Well, tune into the Black Tech Podcast
on blazeradioonline.com every Friday at 3 p.m.
Back with you here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. ASU trying to pile on some insurance runs, leading 7-2 in the Friday opener against Baylor. We talked on the lead-in, partner, about how important this series could be for both these teams. So far, ASU appearing to be up to the challenge against the Bears' impressive pitching staff and bullpen.
Yeah, certainly getting off to an early lead and kind of keep extending it and keeping their foot on the pedal. The Sun Devils have had trouble early in ball games getting ahead. And it seems like they've dug themselves holes in the past and had to rely on Hairston and co. to try and get them back in, down a few runs, and they have, to their credit, but getting the lead early is nice.
First 2 pitches to Zavorak, both miss, so the sophomore is ahead in the count, 2-0. Slapped just his second home run of the season in the second inning. Trying to make his name known, one of his rare starts, 2-0, lays bunt, and it skips past the catcher, so there's no point in laying it, and now it's a 3-0 count.
Again, similar to what we said earlier, just keep the bat on your shoulder here. I don't really see a need to go after it unless it's a perfect middle of the zone home run derby pitch.
3-0 to Zavorak. Spun it in. 3-1. Charlie Atkinson got tased for a home run in his first pitch, but so far it's settled in. 3-1. Swing and a miss. They'll juice the count.
Back-to-back off speed, setting up that fastball count as well at 3-2.
We'll see if Zavorak sits and sees. 3-2. This one's hit hard into the gap, tailing into left center, back on it, looking up, and not making the catch. It is a home run. Beckett Zavorak. Second of the game, third of the season. And the bench bomber comes up in a big way for ASU. It'll tack on one more. 8-2 lead for the Sun Devils in the bottom of the 8th.
Boy, it's that point in the season where you need to start getting into playoff mode and flipping the switch. And Beckett Savorek's a guy that needs to prove why he deserves to be in this lineup. And with 2 home runs tonight in big spots, he's showing Willie Bloomquist just that. A terrific swing out to deep left field.
This will bring up Briggs, who sees the first pitch right past him for a strike. How important is it for a guy like Beckett Zavorek to have a game like he just had, assuming this does not go further than 9 innings?
Well, it builds confidence into the weekend, too, right? I mean,
as Briggs will tase this one in the outfield, it'll get down for a hit. Bottom of ASU's order, making some late noise, trying to play their way higher up in the lineup card. Briggs with his second hit and as many at-bats.
And just another good piece. I mean, you said it earlier, Luke. You can tell in a game like this, the Sun Devils are seeing the ball really well, and it swings like that. That's not the first time we've seen a left-handed batter beat the shift over the head and just deposit one onto the outfield grass in right after a home run.
First pitch to Mutsuritis is tailing into left. It will get down for a base hit. And it's a hit parade for ASU. Leadoff home run. A single from Briggs, a single from Mutsuritis, and guess whose time it is now? Landon Hairston.
This is exactly what the bottom of the order is meant to do, and I think that's why having PJ Mutsuritis in the bottom of your order is so good, because not only does he put together competitive at-bats, he's hitting over 400 when he swings at the first pitch he sees. So it kind of creates a bit of a cat-and-mouse game of do you pitch around him early and try and get him into a 2-strike count when he already sees a lot of pitches. It's a very good spot for him.
First pitch to him misses low. And this is in the kind of situation you can't even walk him. You can't intentionally walk him because then you're juicing the bases for New Contradas, who just hit a home run.
Off this same pitcher as well.
Exactly.
Charlie Atkinson.
So Atkinson has to dig in, checks the runner. 1-0. That one found the corner. 1-1.
And it's spots like these, I think, that Landon Hairston is so good, and he's matured so much in letting the game come to him and letting the pitching sequence just kind of find his barrel.
1-1. Check swing. Missed low.
I mean, you were here last year and saw his freshman struggles after being a highly touted recruit.
He still had his moments. He was still very good. He just didn't have that home run power. Had just 6 extra base hits last season. Well, he's got 25 home runs this year. The 2-1. He won a lot of that one, but he only got enough to tase it foul.
But he also got off to a slow start.
He did.
And that was kind of disappointing because that was a loaded outfield last year. And it was just a loaded lineup in general. And for him, it was kind of a struggle to find his position and find his place. But, boy, has he found it this year.
2-2. Big swing and a miss. He lost the bat. And Hairston is retired. You can tell he wanted all of that one, maybe wanted it too much. And the first out of the inning comes at the expense of ASU's hits leader.
I think for as much as he's done this season and as much damage as he's done across all competitions, I think when he gets back to the dugout, I think Willie Bloomquist will probably have a little heart-to-heart conversation about that at-bat and about that approach in that spot, because I think Bloomquist knows that Hairston can do better, but boy, for Atkinson, that's a heck of a job against the best hitter in your lineup after the 8 and 9 guys both get a hit off you.
First pitch to Contradas, base hit into the outfield. News strikes twice, rounding third, coming home as Briggs. Throw to third is not in time, and it takes off Mutsuritis' helmet. The tag, biff the cap of Mutsuritis, but one-legged Contradas makes his way to second. And ASU's other captain continues his strong night and brings up Dean Toigo.
I think that the thing that's been so good about the Sun Devils is they're kind of small balling their way on base and around the base paths here. There hasn't been that one big swing yet in this inning other than obviously Contradas' home run last inning. But again, it's just little base hits here, little base hits there, and those add up quick. And we're seeing that here for Charlie Atkinson.
And they've done a bit of everything. They rode the long ball early and often, but they've also done a real good job, like you mentioned, in that small ball scenario. As this one gets away from Atkinson, a run will score. Moutsaritis holds on to his hat that time. And ASU takes a 10-2 lead in the 8th inning. I would just like to point out a home run from Toigo here would end the game. We reached that run rule.
That is true. It's one of the things that's forgotten as well, as doesn't really happen a lot of times in summer ball, and obviously in professional baseball, that's a non-existent rule.
1-0 to Toigo. Swing and a miss. Contradas advanced to third on the wild pitch, so ASU's 11th run of the night is 90 feet away. There's a 1-1 count facing Toigo, who's already got a home run and a pair of singles to his name, but he struck out the last time up. And there's one away at the expense of Landon Harrison, surprisingly the one guy in this hit parade who has not been effective. Atkinson's offering. Chopped up the middle. Gloved calmly by Sanders. He'll fire to first. Is it in time? Yes, it is. Run still scores for ASU, though, off the fielder's choice. So Contradas makes his way home. Fans clad in maroon and gold. Not too happy about the call, and there will be a challenge over here at first, so we'll see what the umpires have to say about it. Did you get a good look at that one, Lochlan?
It's as bang-bang as ever, really, by the looks of it. But then again, the eye test isn't always the best, because when you slow things down, you see it way clearer. But it did look very close. I always look at where the shoulder is in comparison to the first baseman, because I find if the shoulder is closer to the middle of the number plate, then it's a really, really close bang-bang play. But if you look at it, it's his first number or second number, that kind of has been my deterrent as a broadcaster. But
a big part of that play and what probably made it a safe bang-bang play, as mentioned, we'll see we're going to get the call here. Pretty quick review. Umpire did his best to make his way to the center of the diamond. And he is out. Call confirmed. That's what it looked like to me. I think that was about the right call.
It's a hard 90 from Dean Toigo, though.
Oh, yeah. Coaches are going to love that. Safe, out, give them a hard 90. We're going to find little issue with your effort. So this brings up Austin Rolig. Tap the plate and dig in. Atkinson still on the bump. His first pitch. Curveball called strike. 0-1.
You called upon Rolig in his first AB, and he's had a couple singles today, a couple good pieces.
Next pitch is high. Yeah, I mean, this is a guy that hit second in the lineup for last weekend and the weekend before. Bloomquist seems to love putting him high up in the lineup, but he hadn't quite put it together, it felt like, for consistent games at a time, as that one's rolled into the outfield for a base hit. As if on cue, Rolig's strong day continues. He's got a trio of singles and a walk to go 3 for 4 and really bump that average up. Started the night just above 300. He's now sitting around 320.
321 to be exact, and his...
That was quick math. I just did it in my head.
And his OBP, it jumps almost close to 450, 430, I believe, as well. So that's part of the reason, I guess, why you put a guy like that in the middle of the order.
You get on base.
It's the old Billy Bean saying.
Gets on base. So Smaldino will step in. Right-handed hitter already has a shot today. First pitch to him, almost took his beard off, if he has one. He doesn't have one anymore. Way up and inside on the fastball.
He's wearing a microphone. If he was wearing a microphone in his chest, would have probably broken maybe a battery pack. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. 1-0 count. We're going to get a balk from Atkinson. So Rolig will advance to second. And this just gives ASU more of an opportunity to bump up its numbers with runners in scoring position. Tonight, 2 for 8. So 11 runs on the board, but 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position. You give Willie Bloomquist an inch, he'll take a mile. I'm fully expecting a heated press conference from him. Mostly kidding. As it looks like with that, we will get a pitching change, as Charlie Atkinson's night appears to be done. As the bullpen door will swing open, Atkinson's night is finished. He goes 1 2/3. He allows 6 hits, 5 earned runs, a walk, strikes out 3, but 2 home runs, 1 to Contradas on the first pitch of his evening, and 1 to Zavorik. Make for a tough night for him. We'll take a break while Baylor lets their new arm warm up, and we'll tell you all about him after this.
Blaze Radio staple shows are back. Tune into Open Mic, Traffic Jam, Press Pass, Bottom of the Sixth, and Onward to Victory every weekday from 5 to 7 p.m. to get your fill on the biggest takes and trends going on in music, news, and sports. Make sure to tune in at blazeradioonline.com.
Folks up, Sun Devils. Jordan, Christown, as I scour the entirety of ASU to find the heroes who do it all. The unsung who brave the challenges to make our university at the top. Let's bring the spotlight to those who do the most and see how they do it all. Join me for the Unsung Heroes of ASU, live every Thursday at 3 p.m. only on Blaze Radio.
Is that what your golf game sounds like? Well, mine too. But hey, if you play, that means you love golf. And if you want to love golf Tuesdays from 12:30 to 1 p.m. Arizona time, then you can join me, Brennan Bucher, on Blaze Radio Online for all things scores, equipment, leaderboards, and event coverage. It's everything from the Corn Ferry to Live to the PGA Tour. If it's golf, it's on the 16th hole on Blaze Radio Online.
Blaze Radio needs your support. If you want to donate to help Blaze Radio, go to blazeradioonline.com and click on the orange box in the top left-hand corner that says Support Blaze Radio, and make a donation today to help ASU's student radio station reach the next level.
Back with you here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. It'll be Grayson Murray to throw for Baylor. And you and I were marking over his pretty interesting arm slot out there. He's a fun guy to watch.
Yeah, 6'5", 219-pound right-hander from Tyler, Texas. JUCO product out of there. He had 18 appearances out of the bullpen last year for Baylor.
A workhorse. 1-0. This one's hit high, but not very far. Coming in is Janusik. He will make the catch. And the side is retired. ASU piles on 4 insurance runs, taking an 11-2 lead. And we'll see who comes out to pitch for the Sun Devils. But sorry, we just threw you to a break. We got to throw you to another one. The 9th inning coming up after this.
In a world of mediocre film podcasts comes another mediocre film podcast. But this time, with the 3 worst people you know.
You've never seen Megalopolis? It insists upon itself!
Your favorite movie is what?
Turbo! Are you stupid? Wrong!
Get out!
The A-list.
Mondays at noon.
It's official. Blaze Radio has once again been voted as the top streaming radio station in the country by Intercollegiate Broadcasting System. Blaze Radio continues to be the standard when it comes to college student radio and is honored to once again receive this incredible award. We could not do what we do without you, so we thank you for listening to Blaze Radio, blazeradioonline.com. Want to see more of Blaze Radio? Follow us on Instagram, X, TikTok, and Facebook by searching for @BlazeRadioASU, where you'll find high-caliber student-produced content. Follow, like, repost, and share as we take Blaze Radio all the way to the moon.
Phoenix Municipal Stadium, the site of ASU versus Baylor, their season opener on a Friday night. It's been all Sun Devils so far, 11-2 in favor of the home side. Lendler, Lochlan, McTeague alongside me. And it'll be Eli Buxton in the 9th inning for Arizona State. Right-hander, big 6'5" sophomore from Oklahoma. Saw limited action in his freshman season, just 11 appearances through just 8 innings. But he had 7 scoreless outings in those 11 appearances. Built a lot of internal optimism. He took into the offseason, he built it up. Added some MPH to his fastball, and he's been a back-end bullpen piece for Bloomquist and company. But he faces Janusik, who's 0 for 3 to open the frame. First pitch 93-mile-an-hour fastball in for a called strike.
He's got a 12.27 ERA and 1-0 this season, 11 innings of work to this point, 15 earned runs, 17 hits given up, 16 Ks as well.
0-1 is swung through by Janicek.
So it's kind of a little bit of everything, right? You got the strikeout factor with roughly 1 per inning, but a lot of hits given up, a lot of earned runs as well in certain spots.
0-2. Miss low. Well, like you mentioned, playoff mode, postseason mode, it's got to come pretty soon for a lot of these guys. And you got to understand what you have in certain dudes if you're really Bloomquist. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Buxton sits down Janicek for his 17th K of the season. And, you know, when you're trying to find out who guys are, you're blessed with situations like this where you can just throw them in and say, look, get me 3 outs and bring us home on a Friday night. Even if we're up by 9, I want to see what you got for me. It's an important audition.
Well, and Arizona State has shown as well that no lead is necessarily safe. There's been several situations where there's been 5-run or more leads that have been blown.
Fastball to Armstrong, misses low.
And I think it also helps guys specifically in the bullpen because, you know, if they're down 2 in the 7th inning, a guy's going to know that he's going to be called upon, and that's going to be his role.
Swung through by Armstrong. Looks like his team-high 12-game on-base streak is in jeopardy. For, I mean, an ASU attack that's done a really good job shutting down this Bears lineup outside of one guy. Pitch to him. Check swing in the dirt. It'll be 2-1. I mean, we got Janicek 0 for 4, Armstrong 0 for 3, Langcloss 0 for 2, Reebok 0 for 3. I mean, only 2 guys in this lineup got a hit tonight. The pitch. Misses outside.
You got to think that's disappointing for Mitch Thompson and his team, right? I mean, outside of just the purely only 4 hits put up against a pitching staff that has been prone to letting up runs.
3-1, missed again. So a 5-pitch walk as Armstrong will take his base, and there goes the on-base streak. I can now write that in 13-game on-base streak for him. Stays alive. Just something about the number 11. Looks good in that green jersey.
It's a good color scheme. I like it with the maroon and gold. I think it contrasts very nicely.
Buxton settles in against Langcloss, and his first pitch misses low.
I'm curious as to if the Sun Devils ever wear their gold uniforms this weekend, how that will look against maybe a green and gold uniform for Baylor.
Could be intriguing. This one fouled the opposite way, chunk right into Willie Bloomquist's office.
I think one of the cool things, I think, is ASU's color scheme. There's so many options. Same with Baylor. I mean, they have their fair share of jerseys as well. Got a green, a gold, a gray, a white.
1-1. In there for a called strike. It seems like Nike always has the biggest spread of options.
I mean, I think of like Oregon and Baylor college football-wise, who always had the chrome helmets, black, pink, gold.
When we were down in Waco, Baylor brought out the chrome helmets for the first time in like a year and a half. 1-2. Swing and a chop foul. Apparently ASU used to rock chrome helmets before you or I got here. I don't know. I wasn't raised in the Valley, so I wasn't a big ASU football
Hockey
fan.
had some chrome maroon helmets.
I like
Football had some chrome maroon helmets.
I like that. 1-2. Tapped back to the mound. Buxton gloves it. He'll just take 1. As the runner advances to second, but there's 2 away. As Langcloss in his first game of the season goes 0 for 3.
Yeah, not the best showing. 2 strikeouts and a tapper to the pitcher, but ABs are ABs. It's a tough spot for the kid to come into, but
reps are reps. So Pearson Reebok now steps in. Baylor's last hope. 11-2 ASU lead, 2 gone in the top of the 9th. Buxton on the mound. His first pitch is a fastball there for a called strike. Now, Lochlan, this is an important series that we mentioned for a lot of reasons, but above all, it's something that we've talked about. The postseason's coming. You know, time waits for nobody, and pretty soon this ASU team will be facing elite competition as that one swung on and missed by Reebok, as now Baylor's down to its last strike. In order to prepare yourself for that elite competition, you have to dispatch what's in front of you and maintain home field advantage, which Sun Devils have done for much of the season. One little blip against West Virginia, But ASU has won all of its other series this season to get off to a good start here. The 0-2, check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. As that is it. Eli Buxton swings the door closed. Doesn't exactly slam it, but he swings it closed, and ASU comes up with a series opening win on Friday night behind a gem from Carlone and an offensive outburst built on the long ball and maintained by some small ball late in the innings.
Little bit of everything from Arizona State. The long ball was going to be prevalent with the win. We knew that tonight from both teams, but the Sun Devils played some really good baseball, had a terrific approach at the plate. They were patient all night. They waited for their pitch, and they drove a lot of baseballs, and I think they frustrated this Baylor pitching staff. And this kind of sets the table for the weekend. This staff here at Baylor, they throw a lot of strikes. They have good command with their pitchers. And ASU is proving that if you throw us a lot of strikes, you are going to give up a lot of hits. And I think that's exactly what ASU did tonight. And this was also a night where Landon Hairston went 1 for 5, had a couple strikeouts. He wasn't necessarily at his peak premier form that we've seen, and yet the supporting cast around him did exactly as advertised. New Contradas had a good little night at the plate with the home run and the single. Dean Toigo was all over it. Austin Rolig, a pair of knocks as well, and then hits sprinkled in at the right times. You know, you think of that 4-run bottom of the 8th. A 7-2 ball game feels a heck of a lot different than an 11-2 ball game. So the Sun Devils, I think, in that 8th inning really twisted the knife and kind of put the Bears to rest in that bottom of the 8th, and that's something that Willie Bloomquist has been looking for, that killer instinct. And the playoff switch starting to get flipped here in Phoenix, and it's a good start tonight for this weekend series.
And we talked about the importance of this series time and time again, but ASU has won Friday nights before. It blew out West Virginia on Friday night, and then it ended up dropping the next two. It lost the series. So what has to maintain on the Sun Devil side for them to win this series?
I just think it's your consistency in your approach, right? Seeing pitches, getting the pitch counts up for pitchers, and just looking to drive balls. The long ball was prevalent tonight. It's not going to be every night. And I think that was the main problem against some of their series like West Virginia and even Utah a couple weekends ago here, where they were looking to hit the long ball, looking to be that guy that clears the bases. And I think that's kind of a byproduct of just gripping the bat too tight and putting too much pressure on yourself. But tonight, a lot of the swings were loose. There was a lot of base hits, a lot of opposite field shots, and guys picked their spots and hit the ball deep when they needed to. But again, they sprayed the ball all over the field, and Arizona State continues to find success when they hit the ball all over.
11-2 your final score in favor of the Sun Devils. They pick up a series opening win against the Bears, looking to carry that momentum into Saturday. From our partner, Lochlan McTeague, I am Luke Lendler. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next time on Blaze Radio.